Hey everybody, thanks for clicking. This is Rocky, and as many of you know by now, we're going to be getting a brand new superhero series starting this fall on CBS in October, and we're going to be getting Supergirl. The series will be headed by Greg Berlanti, who also produces both Arrow and The Flash. There is a lot of hype going on with this show, which is natural for any new superhero show. Now, we nearly had a Supergirl series back when the character premiered on Smallville, but sadly it never came to be. Which is a shame, as Laura Vandervoort really did a great job with the character. I really want to see this new series succeed. So where does Supergirl fall in the grand scheme of the DC cinematic universe? Well, as DC is still keeping big screen and small screen universes separate, this Supergirl will not be associated with Man of Steel, Batman v Superman, or any of the other spin-off movies, which places it in the realm of the small screen universe, which at this time is a bit disjointed. We have Gotham, which more or less has its own time and apparent universe. Then we have the constantly expanding Flarrowverse, including Arrow, The Flash, the Vixen mini animated series, and Legends of Tomorrow. The best chance we have for a connection is the Flarrowverse, as they share production staff, but still it's on a different network. Apparently, Berlanti had it written into his contract that a crossover with either the Arrow or the Flash could happen, though we are probably looking at season 2 or 3 of Supergirl for this to happen. They're going to want to take their time and set up Supergirl and have her established, though I'm hopeful that we might get some kind of mention of Starling City or Central City or something like that. Alright, it's time to talk about some of the characters. So, Supergirl's real name is Kara Zor-El, and her Earth name is going to be Kara Danvers. She will be portrayed by Melissa Benoist, who seemed genuinely excited to get the role. So they're going the route that Kara escaped Krypton's destruction with the help of her parents to protect her baby cousin, Kal-El. Unfortunately, her ship ends up in the Phantom Zone, and by the time she gets to Earth, Kal is an adult and has taken on the role of Superman, or at least that's kind of the impression we get so far from the trailer. It looks as though Superman might actually be the one that takes Kara to the Danvers family, and at that point Kara begins leading her ordinary life. We have seen many different versions of Supergirl, both in the comics as well as movies and television. So what Supergirl are we going to get? From what we've seen so far, I'm getting a very strong Smallville vibe. So we're going to be seeing an awkward Kara begin to accept her powers as well as her heroic journey. Kara's leading the humdrum life of personal assistant to Cat Grant, but feels like she should be doing more. She finally makes her move when her sister is in danger and begins embracing her true heritage. So I'm thinking season 1 is going to be mostly full of an awkward and doubt-filled Kara. Now they need to be careful not to get too extreme with this, as we need to see her inner strength building and shining through. She's going to be dealing with some big threats, so we need to see her confidence continue to grow as she becomes more sure of herself. Now I know Melissa can pull off the more dramatic and comic moments due to her work previously on Glee. My fear is when it comes to the action scenes, she's not going to be able to sell them. On one hand, viewers need to connect with Kara on an emotional level, but on another, we need to be awed by her skills and power. Fingers crossed that she will own all aspects of the role before the season is done. Shyler Leigh will be playing Kara's sister Alex, whom Kara saved from the plane crash in the trailer. You really get the sense that Alex is afraid for Kara and the threats she may have to face by exposing herself to the world. A lot of this probably stems from having to keep her secret, as well as seeing everything that Superman has gone through. She will be the one that Kara goes to when she's afraid and just needs to be Kara and not Supergirl, I think. She's a doctor, and it turns out she's part of a government group called the Department of Extranormal Operations, tasked with protecting the world from major threats, in particular alien threats. So she will probably be used in several subplots to get Kara to do things against her will. This leads us into the character of Hank Henshaw, who is the head of the DEO, or the Department of Extranormal Operations, and at first glance he definitely does not seem impressed with Kara whatsoever. Oh, and he definitely knows her secret identity. It seems like he's almost being set up as kind of a mentor type figure for Kara to try and toughen her up, but will more than likely end up betraying her later on. In the comics, Henshaw actually becomes the cyborg Superman and is pretty much a homicidal machine that's focused on killing Superman. Now, this was a result of Henshaw blaming Superman for the death of his wife, friends, and what happened to him. So we may end up seeing something happen that makes Henshaw think Kara betrayed him and he goes rogue. Though I doubt we're going to see him go all cyborg. But maybe. Alright, let's move on to the Catco crew, as this is where Kara has been spending her days. Her boss is Cat Grant, who actually ends up being the one to give her alter ego the name Supergirl. Traditionally, Cat was associated more with Superman, though in some of the more modern comics a relationship was developed with Supergirl that ranged from animosity all the way to friendly. She's typically depicted as smart, attractive, and highly opinionated, all of which Callista Flockhart exudes on screen, so expect some great exchanges between her and Kara. Now, there's no mention of Cat having a son. In the comics, he was a huge part of her life, and his death at the hands of Toyman messed her up badly. Speaking of Toyman, this brings us to Kara's co-worker that wants to be more than friends, Winslow Schott, who is actually based on Toyman, which explains his technical knowledge as he assists Kara with her suit. Now, in the comics, Winslow was at first seen as kind of a gimmick villain, but then he began a descent into madness that he never really recovered from. He was known for abducting children, his hatred of Superman, and his incredibly destructive toys. Now, he did have moments of clarity where he felt regret, and in some cases actually helped Superman. So what version of the character are we going to see on the show? I kind of like the idea of his crush on Kara evolving into obsession and then just expand from there. For me, the big surprise is we will be seeing James Olsen, as he is the new art director at Catco. It seems initially he's going to be the bridge between Superman and Kara as she begins her heroic journey. So he's going to be dispensing the heroic wisdom from Superman, and rumor has it that a romantic relationship will develop between himself and Kara. I'm not sure I like the idea of Olsen being on the show, as it seems sort of a forced connection to Superman. Though it does kind of pay respect to the Supergirl movie from the 80s, starring Helen Slater, as Jimmy Olsen did appear in that. I really like that they're going to have Helen Slater and Dean Cain play Kara's adoptive parents, as they are both really great actors, and it just shows a sign of respect and a connection back to the cinematic lore of the character in the Superman universe. That being said, I'm not sure how much we're actually going to see these two characters, but it will definitely be nice having them around. We will also be getting lots of flashbacks of Kara's mother, Laura, which will more than likely occur when Kara's having a tough decision or feeling emotionally low. As Supergirl shared a lot of enemies with Superman, I would expect to see a good mix of villains to really push her powers, so hopefully we're going to see some great fight scenes. In my eyes, like I said, this is going to be the biggest challenge of the show, finding the balance between the dramatic emotional moments and the intense action moments. We need to believe that Kara can punch a villain into orbit and feel the weight of the punch. Another challenge is not to fall into the trend of having Kara constantly break down emotionally and ask for help. Yes, early on this is going to happen, but she needs to get to a point where she becomes emotionally strong, and while not always needing help, knows when she does and accepts that help. I really want to see a solid Supergirl series, as we really need more female superheroes on screen in my opinion. Alright guys, those are some of my thoughts on the new Supergirl series. Go and let me know down in the comments below what you're thinking about this series so far, if it's something you're going to be checking out. I'm definitely going to be doing some top moments for it once it does premiere. If you've enjoyed the video, go and pound the like button, and why not subscribe to my channel, that way you can receive an alert when I post my next video. To subscribe to my channel, if you're on your computer, go and click that big red subscribe button on the screen, or if you're on your mobile device, there's a subscribe button down in the description below, as well as I will be providing a direct link there as well. If you have gone ahead and subscribed already, thank you so very much. I really do appreciate you coming on board, and I hope you've been enjoying the videos. Alright guys, all that being said, I hope you have a great rest of your day now. Bye!